So joining me this morning, I've got the legend that's Matt Stevens, the looping expert and member of that popular beat combo and funny music band, The Fierce and the Dead. Morning, Matt.
Hello, mate. You alright?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good. So you're just coming down from RoSFest?
Yeah, quite literally. I didn't realise how the jet lag would affect me. It's really messed me up.
Yeah.
That thing of going across the Atlantic twice is, I think we did like 7,000 miles in 5 days or something. It was insane, and the time difference is really. It wasn't until the day of the gig that I started to not feel ill.
Yeah.
And it's about yesterday I started to not feel ill again. So I'm starting to feel okay now, but it was one of the most intense experiences of my life. It was wonderful though. It's just.
What was it actually like at the festival, and what did it feel like to play in front of all those people? So it'd be fairly decent. I mean, obviously you've done the Art Tangent and stuff like that before.
Yeah, we played to bigger crowds at Rambling Man. There was about 4,000 there. I think we played with Rambling. But this was in a theatre, and virtually all the seats were full, and the audience. Whereas you play at a festival, some of the audience sort of wandering past looking for a burger or trying to see if David Coverdale's getting out of his limo. Whereas something like this, everyone was paying attention to us, and it was also because we were a British band and we hadn't played over there before. There was probably 150 to 100 people who really were hardcore, and then probably the other sort of. I think it's about 800 people there were just sort of being introduced to the first time, and. We were quite nervous because we thought, we're not a traditional progressive act. We don't tick all the RoSFest boxes. But after the sort of first few songs, it was a little bit. We had to sort of gauge the room a little bit, and we had a few quick technical problems on the first couple of songs. But the crew were absolutely amazing out there. It was just due to some weird stuff, but once we got it rolling, the audience were incredible. Really into it, really supportive, and we got a real sort of standing ovation at the end of the set. And George and Donna and the team and Brendan and all our friends who are the team there are just incredible. The way they put this festival on is just, I've never seen anything like it. Just to even get the visas was a nightmare, and Donna was so helpful doing that. And RoSFest has its own atmosphere. RoSFest has a community to it, very similar to Summer's End, in that there's people who will go regardless of who's playing. Very much something people go to as an event.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the questions I was going to ask you, is it different to festivals you've been in the UK? But like you say, it's similar to Summer's End. So, did it feel different being out there? Completely different.
Yeah, completely. It's Mars. It's so different culturally to the UK. I mean, I've never been to America before, and there's so much to take in. The sheer scale of the country, and everything's massive, and they put the sugar on their French toast and all sorts of stuff, and it's so different, but the guys out there are so cool and so nice to us, and I just can't express how much we loved it and how much we'd love to play something like that again. You know what I mean? Because, and I think Summer's End is fantastic as well. So, but it's just very, very different. It's not fair to compare them really, because they're just so different. British culture, American culture is so different, and broadly similar. It's probably the Summer's End is the equivalent of RoSFest, but the scale of how they do things there is so different. But like I say, Summer's End's a wonderful, unique event on its own. You know what I mean? They're both great. They're just different, just really different.
How did you come about to play at the festival then?
It's our friends basically who like our stuff. We've been introduced us via Simon Godfrey and Stacey and and those guys, and there's a small sort of American sort of fan base for our band that basically campaigned for us to play there,
right?
Which is All of them, you know what I mean? It's that's just nuts that people would make that effort. And there's like guys like there was a guy called Jeremy who travels 16 hours to see us play.
Oh, yes.
That's incredible. I mean, that someone would make that effort to see us. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think out there, people will drive to gigs. So, like, you know, in our country, if you say to somebody, it's like, this gig is 3 hours away, that might as well be on the other side of the world. But over there, it's just like, 3 hours is nothing.
Yeah,
the way they drive is so different to the way, you know, they will travel much further distances. It's a really different thing.
Yeah,
it's just the whole attitude is it's not better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah.
Just really different.
Yeah. You touched on it about the visas. Is it really difficult getting an artist visa over there?
Insanely difficult. Donna deserves some sort of medal. It's the most. It's so hard because what you have to do is you have to prove that you are not only artistically significant.
Right.
So I know, yeah. And like basically you have to show up every bit of press you've ever had, show all your gig history, your sales, and basically you have to show that there's not an American band that could do the same job.
Right, right.
But it's you know, and there's certain things like you know, it's very hard to prove that you're artistically significant.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard. I think they wanted like it would have been easier for if we'd already played in Europe.
Yeah.
It would have been easy to get a visa because it sort of shows that you're doing stuff that's beyond your local scene.
Yeah.
I mean, now if we get a visa for somewhere else again, we'd be fine because we've got an international reputation because we played the leading progressive rock festival in America.
Yeah.
Which is, and that's what I mean. It's like you can say to them, "We have done this, therefore we are significant." So they're basically saying to us, "Why have you done international gigs?" It's like, well, we've got one. We can't do it because we haven't got a visa. Well, you want to get a visa then? But you're the one trying to give me the visa. it's like proper Brazil. It's so out there. It's so hard to do. And Donna just wouldn't give up. We got refused twice. And the second time we got through, and the third time we got through, we had to get letters from like industry people saying that, you know, that we were a real band and that sort of thing. So we got a lot of our friends in, like guys, when the guys from Paradise Lost did a letter for us, and Joe from Prog magazine and Twang, and loads of people give us letters to say, you know, that we were a real band and that. And Sid, who runs King Crimson's website, and you know, loads of people have got a bit of industry clout, but it was you know, which I'm hugely grateful for, and like Renfrew from the Independent newspaper and stuff, and eventually they backed down, but it was an absolute nightmare. And me and Kev spent so much time on it, and then once you got the visas, the application, and you have to go to the embassy, and then they take you have to go in for an interview down there, and they take your fingerprints, and then they ask you questions, and then when you get to the country, they take your fingerprints again, and they ask you questions again, do another interview. The process is insane. It's just the most complex thing I've ever done, and I think the same with Kev. It took us months of our life to do, but got there in the end.
So when you actually landed have you ever been to the US before, just as holiday?
No.
So you'd have been treated completely differently to the people who were just going there for holiday because you come in as an artist, so to speak, on this artist visa.
That's right. The countries that have got a visa exception agreement with the US basically just walk straight through this thing and that you're through.
Yeah.
Whereas we're with other people from countries that haven't got that. So, you know, we were queuing up for a couple of hours to come through immigration, and then you have to get all your stuff, and there's a lot of policemen with guns, which you don't, you know, it's quite scary. Yeah. It's a big process. It's a lot to sort of take in, to be honest. But it's really cool. You know, it was fine, and it wasn't a difficult thing to do once we got there. But I'll have to say, anxiety-wise, I was really worried about it. It was quite nerve-wracking, to be honest, mate.
Yeah. I know you touched on it earlier, saying you had like quite a core of fans there. What was the reception like when you actually played the festival? Are the US prog fans different to UK prog fans? Are they more reserved? Are they more effusive?
First couple of songs, we had to sort of make friends. Then I broke a string, and then we just stayed. You know, when you're on stage, you just sort of talking to people as we tend to talk to people as our friends anyway, and we just started talking about football and tea, and just talked about just kind of built a relationship with them, really.
Yeah.
Those boundaries were down. They were great. I mean, they were just a great audience to play to. They were heckling, and one guy was shouting, "Can you get some subtitles up?" Because they couldn't understand what we were saying. And I think our accents are really easy to understand, but that's because I'm from Royston. I mean, our accents are sort of Northamptonshire with a bit of Cockney in them as well, because we've been in London for 15 years, but we're all from the country, in the middle of nowhere in Northamptonshire, so they probably never heard anyone who's, "Oh, you're all right, yeah, all right, me duck, how you doing," all that stuff. They don't get a lot of that in Gettysburg, you know what I mean? It's just...
They expect English people to have a cut glass accent or sound like they're in Alfie.
All right, Geezer, how you doing? But once we were just really ourselves. We weren't trying to be cool or anything. And I think once we sort of got confident on stage and comfortable, it was absolutely fine. I mean, I think the three of us, the four of us, were still feeling quite jet lagged, feeling quite rough.
Yeah.
And it was. You know, the culture at RoSFest is you tend to go out drinking quite a bit as well. So we were doing quite a bit of that. And the beer they have out there is amazing. It's sort of high strength beers. Like 6.5%, it seems to be the lowest sort of, alcohol content beer they have out there. They're really into these sort of hoppy micro brews. Such good beer out there. They're amazing. And Donna, who's the lady who got her visas in, she was so lovely. When we got there, she gave us this beer, and it was like 12%. It was like, wow. I mean, 12% beer is just
mad.
I've never seen it before, you know, it's just insane. But yeah, it's great, but 12% beer. It's like a chocolate in it. It's like a chocolatey... it was really nice, but I had 2 glasses of that and I didn't half feel rough, you know what I mean?
So, you've done RoSFest now. You've come a lot, to me anyway, you've come a long way in a short time. Does that give you the confidence to push on a go even further and facing the dead to uncharted waters, shall we say?
Well, the goal now is to basically to go to Europe, get the new album out early next year, and then go around Europe and basically see what happens from there. And I don't really know. If basically we can go to. I think at RoSFest you probably picked up another 100 or so people are into it. I think if we go to each festival and pick up another sort of few hundred people each time, I think we'll sort of hit the level I want us to hit. And I think the next thing is really to go to Italy, the Netherlands, Germany, and really focus on Europe for the next couple of years. Then go back to the States, and then Canada, and possibly Mexico as well. So it's kind of, there's a lot of options coming up. I think a lot of it's been sort of since we did Celebrate in 2014, and then we did Summer's End and Art Tangent, and then Ramblin' Man and HRH last year, and then we've done RoSFest, and each year it's kind of got bigger, which is weird, and I don't know how it's happened, and it's brilliant. But it's just a question of sort of keeping that momentum going. So next year, if we can do sort of 2 or 3 European festivals, and then the same again the following year, with perhaps something more, in Canada or Mexico possibly, and then look about once we've joined up the dots basically by touring as well, and just keep building it to the point where it's getting bigger all the time. And to be honest, we've already exceeded my expectations of what a band playing this sort of music could do. So, just see what happens, really. I mean, it still seems to be going quite well at the moment, and just we'll work from there. I mean, we filmed the whole video, the concert at RoSFest as well. So we've got that as a DVD and double CD to release, and we're doing like a little sort of documentary thing to go with that. I mean, and we'll probably just record some things as well. So I mean, it's just
onwards and upwards things. The world's your oyster.
Well, I don't know really. I mean, like I say, my expectation is we'll be playing pubs and we might do, things like that. But 7 years later from when we started, we're playing to 800 people in America. So, or 4,000 people at Rambling Man, or I don't know. It's already gone past where I expected to go. So I don't really know what's possible, to be honest. But we're very ambitious. We want to keep it going, really, and keep it growing. That's the main thing. And I think there's a bit more potential there. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. So, do you get the chance to chill out with the fans at the festival? Then?
They're just the American prog guys are just so cool, and a lot of them I've met online previously, and they were just such nice guys, and they know how to drink out there. They really know how to drink, and they're really interesting and really like a lot of very, very intelligent people out there, very bright. They really know their stuff.
Yeah,
very similar to British bands actually. The British folk, over here, in the prog scene, they're all sort of super intelligent people. There's like a lot of people who are like, really, there's a lot of very well informed people in the scene over there. It was really cool. They're just a really good bunch of people to hang out, but they can't half drink. Drinking there just brutal. I mean, and they know how to eat and drink and enjoy themselves, and the food is just incredible. I mean, we had this lumberjack breakfast in this place called the Lincoln, and it was 3 pancakes with maple syrup on top, and bacon, scrambled egg, and sausage as well, 2 different types of bacon. And I've never seen anything like it. It was like, they know how to enjoy themselves out there. Good. We went to Walmart. Walmart's huge. It's like a massive Asda.
Yeah.
It's like a massive Asda, but they sell guns. It's the only way I can really explain it. But like I say, it's so different culturally to us that it's hard to take in. But I can only say how nice the people were, how well organised it was, and what a good sort of time we had, really. And Stuart and the guy George who runs the thing were drinking these really sort of powerful whiskies and stuff. It was just we had so much fun.
So it's like, it sounds just like a few days of music and beer then, basically.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it was that we got off the 16-hour flight, and we basically walked got out of the car, and someone handed us a beer. And before we know it, we're in this microbrewery place, and I had about 6 pints. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest. It was just the most insane thing. It was incredible.
Yeah. Incredible. You mentioned obviously before, with Simon and Stacey, obviously David Elliott, the head of BEM, was over there as well. Did that make it a better experience and easier to get used to things because they were there?
It was fantastic. I mean, Stacey and Simon. It was so nice to see Stacey and Simon and David with the guys in the Fist, and to have that safety net of people I was very friendly with, and I learned a lot about to see it through, to have people who knew the area, and like Karen, Stacey's mum as well. She's lovely, and just to hang out with those guys. They knew where to eat, like good restaurants, and they knew where to go and how to. Because to be honest, when Stu and Steve and Kev arrived, it's like walking on another planet. It's so different. And you walk around and go, that's like American TV. It looks just like America. And it's like, oh, it's America. And then it's like, the signs look, and I couldn't even work out how to cross the road, because you can only cross the road in a certain place. You can't just walk across the road. You have to walk on specific areas of the road, and like you go into a bar and you're allowed to smoke. And it's like, well, what's that? I mean, I don't smoke, but like people, you could just smoke in this bar, and we just, it was bewildering, because it appears that America and the UK have a lot in common, but when you actually get out there, it's so different. It's so, you know, I mean, my knowledge of America comes through watching the television, basically, and interacting with a few American friends online. So to actually be out there, it's such a culture shock, and you know, I think you get used to it, and hopefully we'll go back and play again, and we will get used to it. But I can see why, like those American, when bands used to tour America in the 70s and 80s, and they used to have all these big. I can see how they ended up getting, you know, into serious drinking, etc. problems, because it's such an intense thing. And you know, we were so lucky in that when we played, we made so many friends, and you know, I've had so many nice messages, and on social media we've had messages from people who are really into it. And that just really means a lot to us, because we're a band from Northamptonshire, middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden we're getting all this feedback from America. It's incredible.
Brilliant. So while you were playing over there, did you trial some of the new songs?
We did most of the new album. We did 25 minutes of the third album, and it went really well. There's one song called Truck. It went down incredibly well, and we just finished the song, and we looked at it, and there's people on their feet screaming. I was just like, this is nuts. I don't know how this has happened, but this is nuts. Brilliant. And it was weird, man. It was really weird. It was like, how the hell how is this happening? but we've become. I think we've become quite confident with it now, and it doesn't worry me anymore. It's kind of we'll just keep going and see what happens.
Yeah. So with, like you say, with that, say, taking into account Truck going down the storm and the other songs going well, is that sort of giving you impetus now? You come back to really crack on and get the new album done and out there for the fans.
I'll get it done this summer, basically. So we've got the drums are already done. We'll get the bass done over the course of the next few weeks. So yeah, we'll have it done. We're not far off now, so it's just a question of getting time to do it, really, because obviously we're all working as well and trying to bring up our families, but we've specifically not booked gigs this summer. So we've normally we'd be doing God knows how many festival gigs, but this year we've said no to stuff and not pushed it. So this year we're doing, in August, we're doing the New Day Festival with New Model Army and Slade and all those sort of bands, which is quite a mainstream festival, which I think is quite good for us, because we kind of, well, we played a lot of progressive festivals. We've also played more mainstream stuff and post-rock festivals, because, I mean, like the guys at RoSFest, a lot of them were like, well, I'm not sure you're really a prog band. It's like, well, we've got that in us, but we've also got, you know, punky stuff and psychedelic and bits and bobs of metal and post-rock as well. So there's a lot of, you know, we can cross over to quite a few different audiences, which is amazing. Yeah. So we'll see that one, and then we're doing HOH Prog, and then we're doing a post-rock festival that hasn't been announced yet up north in Sheffield, where I think it is. And then next year you'll be sick of the sight of us, because we'll be gigging all the time. So because we'll be promoting a new album, which I don't want to let anyone down by not selling it. So I've got to make sure we sell it. So I've got to make sure it sells. So
yeah. I'm sure it will.
But we've got a hardcore work ethic. We work really hard on stuff, so you know that's always been the way we've been with the band. We've always tried to do it as although, you know, we have to work as well and do other things to pay the bills. The band's the focus of our lives in many ways, you know, alongside our families, and it's really important that we can grow the audience and keep it all going. So yeah, it's going to be hard for the next couple of years. It's going to be really hard work, but I think once we can grow the audience a bit more and play some bigger shows and stuff, I think it'll be worth it.
Brilliant. So, touching back at RoSFest, did you get to see any of the other bands, and if you did, which ones were the ones that stood out for you?
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, when you're playing these things, you're sort of running around and you don't really get a chance to speak to see all the bands and stuff. Everything I saw was a remarkably high standard.
Yeah,
it was insane. You know, every band was really, really good. Moon Safari had superb harmony vocals.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys can really, really sing. Some of them I didn't see, to be honest. Aaron Clift is very, very good singer, songwriter, proggy sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know United Progressive Front? Do you remember them?
Yes, yeah.
Which is Guy Manning played with. The other guys from them played. They were quite good, sort of singer songwriter stuff, but not quite good, exceptionally good. I mean, it's just not necessarily my sort of thing, but exceptionally good. Neil Morse, I watched about an hour of Neil Morse before the old lid started to go down. Not because of Neil Morse. I'm not being anti-Neil Morse anyway, but because I was just jet lag just kept doing me in.
Yeah.
So I watched the majority of Neil Morse's show, and that's it's like watching a West End musical. It's like, but really, really impressive. It's not necessarily my sort of thing, but a hugely impressive show. The keyboard player was awesome. I mean, the quality of this stuff over there, every single act, is really high quality.
Yeah.
It was all really, really good. I saw a few of the bands. Anglergard I saw a lot of. It's more sort of 70s progressive stuff. Really, really good. To be like I say, I mean, for me, I think the best band I saw is probably Moon Safari. Just because the harmonies go back to the Jellyfish and things, which I'm a real sucker for that.
Yeah.
Kyle's really good. Adam and that, but like I say, overall, it was the standard of it's really high, and it's so good to see that progressive music over there is very similar to like Summer Zen. It's the best of the best. What I mean? It was an international lineup, and it was all superb. And at the back of the hotel every night they have this jam session, which jam session. What's that going to be? And all the players at that were just insanely good. It was just the standard of musicianship. It's just nuts out there. It's just, I don't know. Whereas British bands have got sort of relying on character and being a bit interesting. I think the standard of musicianship in the US is just incredible at that minute. But a lot of if you see a lot of younger bands actually, a lot of the bands coming through are really high standard because they've got access to like YouTube and that, where they can really learn those skills in the way that our generation couldn't, because we didn't have YouTube to check things out on. But a lot of these younger bands now, the quality of the playing is just incredible. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But it was just really, really, really cool. And it's just really the RoSFest community is just an amazing thing. It's just a really just insanely good.
Yeah. I think you've mentioned it.
They love it. They're really into it.
I think you've mentioned it in discussion already. I was going to say to you, would you like to go back to the US? But I think you've said a couple of times you'd love to do it again, wouldn't you?
Too right.
Yeah.
It was, and like I say, George and his wife Beth and Donna and Kevin who does the production stuff, and they're just they look after you so well. They're just so they're so on the ball. And when we came off stage, we signed autographs for half an hour afterwards.
Yeah,
we're queuing up to sign stuff, and it was just we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe that there was that amount of interest in what we did. It was brilliant, and we were very lucky to get the opportunity to play somewhere as cool as that, and we will never forget what the guys at RoSFest did for us. And I really hope we can go back to play either RoSFest or something else that's similar. I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's anything that's similar to RoSFest. I think RoSFest is the biggest North American progressive rock festival, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And people have tried to sort of set up other ones as well. And it's really cool that they're there. But I hope one day we get to do it again. We'll see.
Brilliant.
One day. You never know.
And on a final note, it sounds like it was quite an intense experience. But if you could just sort of look back, and is there one memory that you brought back from RoSFest that'll stay with you the longest?
I think it was just at the end of the show when we got to the last song, and I was on my knees making funny noises, and I looked up, and they split up the whole audience, and they were all on their feet clapping, and we all came back on, did a bow and said thank you so much, and the photographer took a photo. And I think I I completely lost. I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
Completely lost. It was such relief. It was over, and it had gone really well. And we just couldn't believe that we'd been so well received by this American audience. It was just we just couldn't believe it.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it was just an immense feeling of relief. To be honest, thank God that's over. But not in a bad, not in a negative. Oh God, I didn't want to do it. In a way that we were so incredibly happy just that it worked, you know what I mean?
Excellent, brilliant. All right, Matt, well, thanks for taking time out on this Sunday morning for having a chat to me.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Looking forward to hearing and helping sell and distribute the new album. So, yeah, all the best for the future, Matt. Nice to speak to you again. Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Feel free to come on.